might have lost the video for a while. My apologies there, but we lost the camera shots and I had to get them back up, but we are back on track. We have a beautiful lady here in our studios, and I'm not going to say who she is or what she's about. I'm going to let you hear her voice and let her begin to expound. Good day. How are you today?
Good morning. I am Camila Lawrence, Corporate Communications Manager of the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board, and I'm here for what is my usual spot, but I must apologize. We've had a little bit of a hiccup over the last maybe 3 or so programs for the last quarter, but I am here and you are about to tune in to Because You Deserve a Future with Social Security. The topic alone, or the title of our program alone, speaks substantively about the importance of Social Security coverage, and so I am open to take your calls, your feedback, your commendation, your reproach, so that we can improve our services to our stakeholders. The importance of Social Security is far-reaching, more than payment of benefits, but it is a stabilizing factor for our economy. And we can think of times when Social Security has definitely stepped forward to secure balance of our economy. During COVID, the Social Security Board paid out over $25 million for the COVID Relief Fund. That's not usually our course of business, but the law also legislates for periods such as that. It spoke specifically to quarantine periods and stuff to present a further spread. And of course, a major influencer on that decision was to ensure that we have a stabilized economy coming out of COVID. Most of our employees were unemployed during that period, and so Social Security stepped in to ensure that there's some continuity of economic stability in St. Kitts Nevis. Outside of that, Social Security carries a large corporate social responsibility platform where we are heavily invested in education. Major, boastful, I must say, or proud factor of our Social Security CSR is our scholarship programs, particularly the Susanna Lee High School Scholarship, which was founded in 1983 as our independence gift to the nation. Since then, 42 years, a number of scholars have gone through the not only financial support but mentorship of our students, of our alumni, and such personalities include Honorable Dr. Matt Brantley, Sugar Bowl, Joanne Kelly, a number of doctors, accountants, a whole host. We've even extended our scholarship to offer university scholarships, so some persons have had full scholarships to university funded by Social Security and others partially funded. And so Social Security continues to be a proud investor of our students. Most recently in September, we had our last cohort of new inductees into the Social Security Scholarship alumni, and this time we had a very huge number. We usually take one student from each of the high school, but this year we had 20 new inductees. The students were deserving, and we realized that if these students were not in receipt of the financial assistance that Social Security offers, that they may not realize their fullest potential. And our approach is that when we invest in our human capacity, these workers, students, become workers. They contribute to the fund so that we are able to meet our promise, which is to pay benefits. So apart from our usual business of Social Security benefits, there's much more to the Social Security Fund, and we want to encourage our listeners, our stakeholders, to continue to keep us accountable over the last years. And today, really, this is a review of the year. And so if you have any questions, of course, you can call. The numbers to call are 46. Again, a brain fog.
Let me help you there.
I'm getting aged.
4660989,
Yes.
6620989, 7620989. The outside number 033-344-0065 in the U.S., 718 285-6984, and the final one in Canada, 305-921-4619.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. So if you have any questions, concerns, be sure to call in. And so, apart from our usual business of Social Security, I would have highlighted earlier some of our corporate social responsibilities. For the year, we've had a tremendous year as we are still on our transformational journey. We would have mentioned that Social Security is on the path for reform, and we are operating under a theme that has resonated throughout every operation, which is transform, reform, thrive. And we're in the transformational stage where we're building in-house capacity. We're looking at the culture of Social Security and how that impacts our service delivery. So we're doing quite a bit of building our internal capacity to ensure that there is results in our delivery for compliance to Social Security, for service when you come to Social Security. So we have been doing a lot, and we spoke sometime also of giving the stakeholders the power of compliance, which means very, very soon you will have the power of compliance in your hands. And because of our internal transformation, you will now have that external capability to check on the compliance of your employers. So that in turn will help with our compliance ratio and our rating to continue to support the sustainability of Social Security. This also leads into the upcoming submissions of Social Security remittances online. For a long time, our clients have been asking us to step into innovation, step into ways that we can make payment or compliance to Social Security easier, and so we're moving towards that as well. And very, very soon, in the new quarter of the new year, we will have online submissions, so you won't necessarily have to come and stand in the line. By a click of a button, you can upload and pay. We were stopping at upload. You could upload, but we still had you coming in to pay. So now you can upload and pay via Social Security. So that's great news all around. Employees now have the ability to log on an app, and we'll share those details as soon as we're able to make sure that everything is fleshed out. We're doing some testing behind the scenes, but as soon as everything is tested out, we'll be sure to share that so that our stakeholders, wherever you are in the world, whatever time you wake up and want to check on your contribution status, you can do so. It has also other interesting features, but we'll wait for you to see them when we launch the product in the new year. It's also that time of the year when the self-employed would be encouraged, well, just now because I don't think it's December already, but twice per year the self-employed has the opportunity to change their income categories. This is very, very important. We are seeing self-employed persons who we understand their work is seasonal, but they are registering and being compliant on the lower end of the spectrum. So that means when they get to benefits or they get to pensionable age, they seem to be disappointed with the amount that they're going to get. But it is important, as you earn more periodically, at least twice a year, up to age 57. Those times are in January, which is soon around the corner, and July. You can come in and upgrade your income category. When you get to 57, you can only change once per year, right? I think I'm making a mistake. Yes, you can only change once per year after 57. So it's important that you ask questions, that you understand what your benefit payments would look like. Don't choose a category that looks low and simple. If you know you're making $1,000 a week, don't choose a category that says you're making $500 a week, because your lifestyle is based on 1,000. So when you're out of work and need to claim, it means that your benefits will be based on a 500 rather than 1,000. So those are some of the functional operating elements that I wanted to remind persons of this morning, but I also want to take a time to reflect on the work we've done for reform. It has been a very over the last year, 2024, we spent the whole year speaking about the importance of Social Security form. We met with the public, there was consultation, there was press releases on what the Social Security fund would look like if there are no changes. We're still at the state of collecting information, and so we are hopeful that very soon that there'll be some changes to Social Security, because we understand that the sustainability of the fund is very important, and people, more than anything else, look forward to their Social Security pensions. Our Social Security fund has been solid for the last 47 years, and it is a design of Social Security systems to look at your formula every 30 years. We are 47 years, and so it means the time is ripe for us to make those changes. So we will continue the dialogue, and we are open to the public to share their insight, their feedback on the direction of the Social Security Fund.
We have a caller.
Sure.
Hello, caller.
Yes, morning.
Good morning.
I like to say something to the young lady
There's
about social security.
maybe if you caller, if you can move away from the background noise, it's kind of conflicting.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Something quick I like to say to the young lady about social security. I hope that they try the best with the new upcoming year and the future to take care of poor people money. Because see, last year they took $1 million and buy 4 of the more expensive Honda vehicles for the police. And that wasn't a good investment. They need to find somewhere to invest poor people money better than that. If somebody sponsor the police vehicle, not social security money. The money there for poor people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'll provide the information as it relates to your comment. Now, I mentioned at the start that Social Security has a corporate social responsibility platform that includes health, education, and national security. On the national security, Social Security's mindset is that if people are safe to work and go out to work in a safe environment, they'd work and contribute to the fund. National Security falls under that portfolio, where in the past Social Security has provided support not only to the police but to the fire and so forth. And so that that donation was part of our corporate Social Security
When
platform.
it comes to corporate, do you have a budget for that every
Yes,
year?
we do,
Okay,
and the
yeah.
budget for that is 135,000 EC. Nowhere close to the million that the caller is alluding to, and so Social Security would have made the donation on that. But there have been
You
other
have another caller
donations
waiting.
to National Security over the years.
Yeah. Hello, caller. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Quentin, Mr. Lawrence.
Good
I have
day.
a question. For some time I've been wanting to ask this. In the U.S., right, when a married couple, like both of them been working, and let's say one passed, let's say the husband passed, I'm told that the wife, even though she too has the husband passed, and let's say she retires, she only gets the bigger social. Let's assume her husband was working for more, so it's like she basically would be working, and at the end of her working life, she gets nothing. She gets the bigger portion. Does the same apply in St. Kitts?
Okay. No, I can't speak to what happens in the US, but I can tell you in St. Kitts, once you have two insured persons who are pensionable, both a married couple pensionable, the wife is receiving, the husband is receiving. If one should pass, let's say the husband passes, the wife will continue to get her pension, which she worked and contributed for, as well as a portion of her husband's. In our case, the law says a half of a half, which essentially is a quarter. So you're looking like a quarter of his and hers. So that is how it works in St. Kitts.
A quarter of his and hers?
Yes.
So you're saying she gets her full social,
Yes.
but she'll get a quarter of her husband?
Yes, and if it is, and you see how you made the reference, if one is bigger, that consideration will be made. If the husband's own is a bigger totality than what hers would be, that is also considered.
Okay, and I see you were looking really nice the other day for your birthday, so happy belated.
It's still my birthday. My birthday ends on last lap. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for your call. Okay. I want to thank those callers for calling in. It's very important that you take all the opportunities to engage Social Security and to access those hard questions to ensure that you are informed rather than going by hearsay or something that somebody may have said. So it's important that you call in and express your views, of course, respectfully, so that we could provide the information. So, we mentioned that our corporate social responsibility is threefold: education, health, national insurance, amongst some smaller donations that we do for culture and education. Well, I spoke about education. We have a
We have
caller.
another caller. Yes, we do. Go ahead,
Yes,
caller.
yes, yes. Good day to the lady.
Good
God
morning.
blessings be with you.
I appreciate
Now,
that.
with all due respect, I support the gentleman who called and said Social Security money is not for contribution to buy vehicles and those sort of stuff. Okay? Because people put in the money for a specific reason, and in that sense, I consider Social Security money already spent. In other words, it has been guaranteed to the people. You're a contributor. In the future, this is what you're going to get. Also, as well, I do not agree with the government, both present and past, taking out money from Social Security to do their projects, including house, building house, and all sorts of stuff. That's not what Social Security is there for. So Social Security is there to make sure when the people are ready to get the money, and the reason why for what they give, white people contribute, that everything is in proper order, and that people are not shortchanged, given little pittance, simply because monies have gone into other things. So I agree with the gentleman, and this has also been my opinion for the longest time as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Now, in order for the monies to grow that is contributed to Social Security, the Social Security Fund has a mandate to be financially responsible and to operate in the best interest of the Social Security Fund. So, monies that we like to say given to government are loans that are serviced, and I must say that the government is not in any debt to Social Security. So loans are serviced, and when I say the government, I should say more specifically, housing would be a part of NHC's portfolio, right? So those monies are invested at a return rate, and so that is what we use to ensure that when contributions come in, we also have investment income coming in to support the claims made by pensioners in the future. We can't carry a Social Security fund solely on the contributions received by Social Security.
Yeah, let me ask you a question then, because I think perhaps you answered it just a while ago. Are you saying that all of the loans we've heard in terms of housing or whatever from Social Security by any governments over the years, they're always paid back?
They're always
Okay,
paid back.
that's what I want to be sure.
We are not in any arrears with any loans as it relates to investments that we've made over the years. We have a caller? Okay, so I was explaining that in order for Social Security to continue to pay benefits, we have to invest the monies that come in. Interestingly, Social Security is at a point where we receive less contributions in than what we pay out. Every month, we have a new cohort of at least 80 new pensioners. Every single month, we have at least 80 new people now in line to receive and expect monthly their pension. So Social Security has to take the contributions that we get in, invest it so that the contributions just don't stay in the fund and create no income, but some is invested so that we can get return on it or interest on it in order to meet our obligations. I hope that answers the caller, and there's a greater appreciation for what is done in that regard.
Well, I'm a bit surprised because I thought that Well, we as a people tend to feel that when governments take loan from these institutions, they don't really pay them,
No.
make to effort to pay them back.
No.
So it makes us feel good to know that at least where Social Security is concerned, they do pay back.
Correct.
Okay.
And of course, we have said publicly as well, we had one situation, but that is resolved. And so all our loans are currently being serviced with the agreements as they should. We understand the grave importance of the Social Security Fund, and as administrators, we do take our work quite seriously, and we advocate for the best interests of Social Security.
Well, I must say, even though you complain a bit that it has been a trying year,
Yes.
at least your visit here is timely, because I think it's a fitting way to end the year with some update and to think about the new year. So I would assume that when the new year starts, you're going to be here, and we're going to.
Yes, and
we look forward to hearing from you, to seeing you and hearing from you.
most definitely.
Because as you could see by the callers, they want to know about their
Of
Social
course,
Security.
we remain available, and we are reachable via WhatsApp. So you can call us, you can WhatsApp us on 662-8479. That's customer service. Or you could speak directly to corporate communications on 667-2535. There's one more thing I'd like to mention.
Well, before you do that,
Sure.
there's a caller.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, it's me again, so make it quick as possible. Now, I know governments, including the U.S. government, okay, instead of giving back the money, they put in IOUs to say, well, then we're going to promise to pay you back such and such a time in the future. And they may even consider that to be payment. So I'm just simply asking, when you say government has been paying back the loans, that would not include giving Social Security any form of IOU?
We don't have one IOU.
Like that?
No, we
Okay.
do not have one IOU. No.
Yeah.
The government also takes the work of Social Security quite seriously, because truthfully, it is what the social fabric of our economy stands on. Many persons have no other income after age 62 other than their Social Security. And if our Social Security flop, it means our economy flop, our stability flop, crime will increase, health will go down, everything will fall apart. So truthfully, the governments have not taken advantage of Social Security. None of them.
Okay, let me ask a question. IOUs would also include like things like treasury bonds and those sort of stuff?
No, our loans
no,
are
no,
being
okay.
serviced as they should based on the agreements that were
Okay.
set out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, you can finish it. Do your wrap up now.
Yes. Just one new thing we're going to have in the new year. The look of our claim forms are going to change. We have forms in different colors: pink for maternity leave, pink for funeral grant, green for employment injury, yellow for sickness. We're all going to standardize to one color, which is white. And the distinguishing feature will be a small box on the top. So where the sickness claim was a yellow form, you'll see a small border on the top that lets you know it's sickness. And this is in an effort for us to becoming a more greener and sustainable and cost-efficient organization. So we're making the little changes that would have the greatest impact over time. We want to thank you for your continued support of Social Security, for your advocacy for us to move in the direction of reform, for your hard questions that we have to answer because we are obligated by law. So we encourage all employers to continue to pay your contributions in full and on time. And of course, we understand life happens. So come in and have a conversation with us. Self-employed, I want to appeal to you. You have the personal responsibility to take care of yourself. And employees, make sure you check on your contribution status. Until then, everyone have a safe and enjoyable Christmas and Carnival. And I'll see you right back here the last Wednesday in January of 2026. God bless.
And the same to you, and may you, let me say belated birthday
It's my
greetings.
birthday
and,
still?
and may you continue to enjoy until the end, because it seems you intend to.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
Found the sound 98.9 to shop your way. New savings for today. We're always so nice. We're treating you so right. It's Friday. Celebrate Friday with 2 days of super savings at the TDC Home and Building Depots and Automotive Divisions in St. Kitts and Nevis. Shop your way on Friday 28th and Saturday 29th November and get 25% off in store and online at shoptdcgroup.com. Get everything you need before the holiday rush begins. This weekend, celebrate Saturday. Head to your favorite TDC retail store, the place for holiday savings. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. TDC. Together, we succeed.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three and win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers.
So play today.
At any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
Here are your Horseman's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running November 13 to November 26.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Essential Everyday Disposable Containers, just $15.99. Orville Red and Barker Microwave Popcorn, $10.99. Blue Bunny Ice Cream is just $22.99. Downy Fabric Softener, $24.99. Gain Liquid Laundry Detergent, $26.99. Renews It Air Freshener is just $7.49. And now, our very low weekly
Value deals. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauce, $7.99. IGN Essential Everyday Cereals, $9.99. Essential Everyday Spray Cooking Oils, $9.99. IGO Essential Everyday Chunk Light Tuna, Water and Oil, $3.49. White Rain Shampoo and Conditioner, $5.49. The Colgate Toothpaste, $7.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
And welcome back. The time 3 minutes moving away from the 9 o'clock hour. Let me apologize because earlier just before the bit of a interview with the Social Security lady, I had to shut down the video system and reboost it. So I guess a lot of you got bumped off, and I had to do that so that I could recapture the videos and so forth. So my apologies. You know how it is in a modern era. Technology, it governs things, but it has its glitches. Okay, so my apologies as it relates to that. Now, before I was having a bit of a chit chat with Greg as it relates to the SSV, and I agree with him that the blame should be put on the opposition also. And I've said it on numerous occasions, and I don't know, it is rather frustrating the way, you know, let me take a bit of a commercial break here because I hear the bell ringing, so let me
take
a bit of a Hold a second. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, hello, caller.
Yeah, Quint, I'll hold.
Okay, no, go ahead and speak. Speak since you're already there. I'm going to move away and answer the door, okay?
All right.
Go ahead.
Grand Rising, Quint, and Grand Rising to the listeners. Yesterday, I listened to the doctor on Weekly Dose, and they were talking about alcohol, and I just want to say this, Quint, and to the listener and public, we are going to carnival and celebration, and a lot of that going to be consumed. But also, I want to touch the fact that one of the weapons that colonization have brought within the African continent was alcohol. In the 1500s, the British, the Portuguese, the French, and the Netherlands, they all brought alcohol within the African continent. Now, we know when we consume alcohol, it gives us a high, and depending on our percentage of that we consume, we sometimes become deeply intoxicated and out of ourselves. And I just want to share to the public that most of that, in that era, in the 1500s, where the African leaders or the kings who accepted that for trade of our people, this was one of the strategies that the colonizers did use on our people. Now, Quint, I want to share quickly, I listened also to the premier yesterday on that theatrics. I listened to the theatric coming from the premier yesterday, and I just couldn't take it anymore, so I just had to turn it off. So I share your sentiment and what you said about the premier yesterday, just distracting, in my words, distracting the public or the masses with all the theatric that he rambled yesterday. When it comes to important issue, I think he knows very well what he's doing, but
who knows what they're doing? I had to step away a bit there.
No, I was just saying that I share your sentiment after I listened to the premiere yesterday with that theatrics. All that, in my opinion, was just distraction.
Yeah.
Distracting the masses from what is more
important,
that we
relevant.
need to pay attention to, and I think he's deliberately doing that. And that's what I'm saying. He knows exactly what he's doing. Just like how the investors are swindling him, in my opinion, also with our leaders, our politicians, they in turn think they are swindling us. Now, Quint, I mentioned, I don't know if you heard when I talk about alcohol consumption.
I did.
The doctor yesterday.
I did,
Okay.
and I would like to interject on that because, look, when we look at the things that have been done to keep people divided, subservient, and whatnot, they did the same to the American Indians. When we hear about fire water, that is what it was. They put smallpox in their blankets to disseminate them. They did the same in the U.S. when imagine the United States of America's government make sure that they finance drugs being brought into their country to disseminate a population of black people. It was done to the Chinese. The British put a big number of opium into China, and just because China was exporting tea, I mean, it is amazing what these people do. Here the British, China is exporting tea, the British acquire a big love for tea, and they find that the Chinese are making big money off of the tea, and rather than competing, they make sure they infiltrate the Chinese population with opium and get the people hooked on drugs and all that kind of stuff. So when we see the Chinese today and how they react, I often say we react because of our life experiences. So I said all of that to buttress what you were saying about the alcohol input.
You know, Quint, now last week McMahon used some words when we were discussing what is happening in Nevis, and McMahon says that they have studied us. And he's so right. They have studied us. And this is why I'm saying today, oppression has become comfort. We take oppression now and we accepted it as comfort. We are comfortable with the oppression. But you know, Quint, now we have our famous caller Gregory, who always say everything the Bible way. The Bible way. But even that in itself, Quint, that in itself is to keep us from knowing, because most of us believe. We believe what was written, but not recognizing. And you see, Quint, this is why Journey is saying they use colorful words on us. And it's not just words alone they use on us, Quint. They use figures. Colorful words, holy inspired men. So only these holy inspired men know the address of God. You and I don't know it. So we have to believe what they wrote in their literature, Quint. This is what Journey is saying to our people. I'm speaking to my African brothers and sisters, Quint. Let us wrap our heads on what they wrote.
I must commend you because now you're doing what I've always asked you to do. When you come, you bring a little bit of new information, you know, rather than repeating the same thing, because that is what it is about. Because I know you're well read, you have the information there, so just bring it so that you become another voice who enlightens the people about a lot of the things that were done to us as a people.
Let me say this, Quint. Now, I said before that African civilization didn't start with slavery, because Africa had kingdom and queendom. Africa had universities, and our people need to know what colonization has done to our structures, our university, our libraries.
Journey, just a bit of info. You're going to have to make your point in the next 2 minutes because I already have the next guest here. So go ahead, though.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just say quickly. In all that is happening, what happened then and is happening now is because, again, they have studied us. And I would go further to say, in our present reality today, my observation, I recognize that the mind of the oppressor is trapped into our politicians, because we are still going along to get along, and this is what we need to move away from. Quint, if I get back in later, I want to touch more on...
I will be on Voices too, so, you know, so...
Okay, I have a point to make on the biblical God. I outlined some of the characters earlier.
Yeah.
And I want to further on that lane.
Okay, then.
I'll pass on out, Quint.
Yeah. So you take care. Thanks for your input. Going to take a bit of a commercial break, and when we get back, we have something very interesting for you to lend an ear to.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
The clock is ticking. It's Hartsford's Building and Nevis Centers and Builders Paradise Christmas Countdown Sale. This Thursday, December 18 to that day, December 20. Enjoy 30% off store-wide all weekend. Plus 12% VAT on that day, Saturday, December 20 on everything you need before the holidays. Don't wait. Time is running out to save big before Christmas Day. Build with us at Hartsford's Building and Nevis Centers and get everyday low prices at Builders Paradise.
This Christmas, make the season brighter with help from TDC Financial Services. Whether it's gifts for the family, a holiday home makeover, or that special celebration you've been dreaming of, our Christmas loan promotion is here to make it happen. Get up to $85,000 unsecured or $100,000 secured with affordable rates, fast approval, and the trusted service you know and love. Apply today at TDC Financial Services on Central Street, Bass near St. Kitts, or Main Street, Charlestown, Nevis. TDC Financial Services, your holiday, your loan, your way, where money is made easy.
Carries. We're good?
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers.
So play today.
At any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
And a pleasant good day. Welcome back. The time is just 16 minutes moving away from the 9 o'clock hour. And let me say again a good day to everyone. I have with me in the studios a Nakisha Topping. Did I get it right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And you are the founder of Elaine's Caribbean Crochet. And she will be telling us about crochet and Crochet for a Cause, that is, which will be held in St. Kitts and Nevis from Thursday the 27th to Saturday the 29th of November. Nakisha, tell us about this project.
Good day, everyone. Good day, Quinn. Thank you so much for having us on today. Crochet for a Cause Ridge to Reef is a project that uses the art form of crochet to create replicas of the land and sea environment for environmental awareness. So we create replicas of the coral reef, fish, shell, as well as starfish so that persons can be reminded about environmental protection and becoming environmental champions.
Okay, and what type of creatives can participate and what do we expect to see them do and make, create? And that
So
kind of
those
stuff?
who know how to crochet can join us at the conference room at NEMA conference room to be able to create replicas of coral, fish, starfish, and shell. The main goal of ensuring that we do this project is to help persons to remember that we are currently going through the impact of climate change on our coral reefs, and we want to continue working towards others knowing how they too can protect the environment. We provide the patterns, the yarn, the crochet hooks, and we are also providing lunch to ensure that persons can stay with us from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to create the replicas and ensure that we are doing the project for the environmental awareness and community empowerment factor.
Okay, I just had to be running back and forth, so my apologies. You know, when you're one person, you can't be 2 places simultaneously.
We thank you for your efforts.
Yes, so how does one go about the workshop?
The workshop will take place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at NEMA Conference Room, and in Nevis, it will also take place at NDMD Conference Room. We're looking at having the 50 participants who would have registered come through. As I would have mentioned, we provide all the skills, tools, and resources to ensure they're able to complete the replica's creation. we work with a marine conservation agency so that donations can be given for the replanting of the coral reef. We're also able to ensure environmental awareness through collaborating with the Department of Marine Resources. We have the marine biologist Cadencia Harris coming out to do a presentation on environmental protection of the coral reefs. And we also have been collaborating with the Department of Creative Economy to ensure that they too support the crocheters as they come out. So we truly encourage those who are part of crochet artisans, those who are in the field, even if you're not able to come out for the entire day and you're able to pass through, to visit us at NEMA Conference Room on Thursday and Friday, and then on Saturday in Nevis at NDMD Conference Room.
Now, when you came in, I remember turning to you and saying that I remember growing up and I would see all the ladies doing crochet.
Yes.
And most of the ornaments like table covers and for the
Doilies.
space savers and that kind of stuff. I remember I used to see my mother's fingers just going crazy and you hear those pins necking.
Right.
And I as a young boy used to be like fascinated because they did it so fast.
Yes.
And they created jackets and all kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And that just faded away.
Hmm.
And it's good to see that here's a young individual
Thank
like you and you're bringing it back.
Yes.
So it gives women, and as you say, a creative way of passing some time, leisure. You can be having a conversation because I would assure you they would be gossiping when they would be doing that. So
Hopefully not.
it is good to see that. Well, gossip isn't so much a bad
A
thing.
bad thing once you're discussing
Yeah.
towards developing.
Yes.
Well, it's true. The reason why I run Elaine's Caribbean Crochet, it's a legacy to my grandmother Elaine,
Okay.
who would have taught me to crochet. So I did grow up as you did, with women in the gallery crocheting together. So it's a legacy of love to her, and it's a tribute to her as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to meeting to the crochet artisans in St. Kitts and Nevis. For the last month, we've been meeting online so that we run through the patterns, enabling them to get familiar with what we'll be creating. And we're looking forward to ensuring that the community empowerment aspect is achieved. We have the sales and marketing, the branding, that when the products are made, they can then go and sell them, so that there's economic empowerment to the participants as well. Holistically, we've developed this sustainability cycle with where it's community empowerment, bringing persons together in the workshops, economic empowerment, providing them with the skills, tools, and resources, and then environmental awareness and environmental protection.
And I must commend you because you seem to be very aware of what's happening in our world and very concerned about how we evolve for the future, keeping our environment and so forth. So yeah, I must commend you.
The impact of climate change has to be realized, rising sea level temperatures. So we have to do our part as environmental champions. And this project is a creative way to do that. It ensures even a child can understand when they see the replicas, they're able to, it resonates with them so that they themselves would want to protect the environment. And it is, as I said, a legacy to my grandmother. It is funded by the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program implemented by the United Nations Development Program. So we thank our partners. We thank you, of course, for giving us the opportunity to come on today and to share with St. Kitts and Nevis about this upcoming project.
Yes, we do have a caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning.
Good day.
How are you today?
We're fine, and you?
Oh, giving God thanks. I've been trying all day yesterday. When I can't get through, the phone busy. By the time I hang up and call again, I'm busy.
Well, you know how
I'm sorry I missed my good friend Journey.
Yeah. Well, right now we have a young lady here, and she's speaking to crochet, and I'm sure you remember crochet. Yeah, crochet. And
I was a book center. I was a crochet champion.
Nice, you
crochet champion.
Tablecloth.
Nice,
runners.
yes. We were just saying that,
we are
right?
sophisticated. Your chair must have on the chair back.
Yes.
So
So it's definitely using that craft and that skill that you have as a crochet champion to be able to continue in the craft. Crochet is trending. It's therapeutic. It enables persons to continue in the craft, not only for economic empowerment, but as a hobby at home. And so that's something that we want to encourage persons to do. Use your skills and talents.
What you're offering courses in it?
We currently have a workshop that will be held tomorrow, Thursday and Friday at Nima Conference Room. So persons have registered for the workshop. We are willing that if you would like to pass through to visit what is being created, that is an option.
It's very artistic too.
Yes, it's very artistic and it enables us to use our gifts and talents to helping others become aware.
So Queen, can I hold on while she does her thing? I don't want to get cut off.
Well, she's going to be, it is her segment, really.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can always send us a WhatsApp message at 1-246-284-1152. That's 1-246-284-1152.
Okay. So Sylvine,
so what's your name? Because maybe I could see if I find some of the books and contact you.
Oh, nice. My name is Nikisha Toppin, Elaine's Caribbean Crochet.
Your name is what?
Nikisha Toppin.
Nikisha.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
So you can always come
Nikisha
across
Toppin. Yeah.
to Nima Conference Room Thursday and Friday.
Let me hang up so she will have a show.
Okay.
Thanks
yes.
so much. Have a
I
good
want
day.
to get back in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you. That is, in case you didn't know, that is Miss Sylvine Henry. She's retired now, and
Yes.
she's blind.
Okay,
but
okay.
she's an economist.
Great.
Did accounting and very
Mhm.
very versed, and we're glad that she's still alive because she
Yes.
gives her wealth of knowledge.
To
So let me
others.
ask you this: how many persons have currently registered for the project?
So we have 50 persons registered, 30 for St. Kitts and Nevis and 30 for St. Kitts, and 20 for Nevis. So we're looking forward to the crochet artisans coming out. As I said, if there are those who would like to pass through on your lunchtime, you'd like to visit and see what the project is about, you can do that between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Thursday and Friday. And we're also going to be in Nevis at NDMD Conference Room as well from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, and what is the real value of individuals' participation?
The real value is seen in the community empowerment. Persons who come together, form friendships, persons who didn't know them before, they are able to develop business relationships. We've also seen with the economic empowerment, the sale of the products are able to help those who may not have a job. In Barbados, we're able to pay those who participate for their hourly time, and so we're hoping to build out that structure in St. Kitts and Nevis as well. And we're looking forward to the environmental awareness aspect and the environmental conservation through liaising with the ministries and the different agencies that do marine conservation.
Well, I'm sure that anyone who participates with you would be in sort of incorporated in your aura, because you seem to have a very radiant personality.
I pray so. All by God's grace.
So that is good, right?
Okay, good.
Okay, so any final comments?
Again, want to express thanks to winnfm for allowing us to come and share about the project. So thanks so much to you. We'd also like to again thank the Global Environment Facility, United Nations Development Program, Small Grants Program for their funding of the project, and the Department of Creative Economy, Department of Marine Resources, as well as the other public and private agencies that have supported the project. We look forward to meeting the crocheters Thursday and Friday and on Saturday in Nevis.
Yes, and again, for those of you who are looking, look at her, young, radiant, and she's bringing back something that if you get involved with, especially you young ladies, it could be a good pastime.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome. Do take care and
Have a good
enjoy the
day.
rest of not only the day, but the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone, and God bless.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Campari. Red Passion. Embrace the mix.
Campari Red Passion, full action, this is Red Passion. Embrace the mix, add Campari, make it turn and twist. Add your chaser in your drink. Campari Red Passion, make the nicest mix. Campari.
Campari Red Passion. Embrace the mix. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
The holidays just got a whole lot brighter with the new $5 Holiday Stash Scratch Ticket. It's easy to play, packed with $1,000 prizes and many chances for you to win big this holiday season. So go ahead, treat yourself, spread some cheer, and stack some cash. Play Holiday Stash today at Caribbean Lottery agents and vending machines island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play. Please play responsibly.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. Leave them right here under the tree for...
For Santa or for CIBC Caribbean? 'Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back. The time precisely 9:30 on the dot. And we have a stranger in our midst. Good day, stranger.
Hi, good day. Thanks for having me today. As you know, my name is Kyle Flanders, and I'm an agriculturist. Well, a self-proclaimed agriculturist, right? I'm here for the farm report because we have some serious matters to contend with. And so we're going to just get right into it so we don't lose any time. We have a short span, so let's just jump into it. So one of the burning issues right now is the feed, right? The feed shortage, the feed issue that our livestock farmers are facing. And so I want to read to start off with an open letter of solidarity by the consortium leadership that was published on November 20th on our social media networks, Facebook and IG. So let me just read that letter first, and then I'll jump into the meat of the matter. So, to all livestock farmers affected by the feed shortage crisis, dear fellow farmers, we see you, we hear you, we stand with you. The ongoing livestock feed shortage is devastating our farmers. Production is falling, animals are suffering, financial pressure is mounting. And through it all, the Ministry of Agriculture has provided no official communication, no explanation, no timeline, no plan of action. Whether you raise poultry, cattle, goats, sheep, or swine, your struggles are real, your concerns are valid, and your voice matters. The consortium is taking action. We have formally written to the acting permanent secretary demanding urgent engagement and answers. We are demanding transparency about the alleged privatization of the importation of feed. We are pressuring hard on the question of compensation for losses incurred. We have requested an urgent meeting to develop an action plan. What can we do as farmers? Document all losses, decline in production, animal health issues, mortality, expenses. Share your situation with the consortium. Support each other and stay engaged. Critical facts. Even when feed is restored, production will take at least 3 weeks to recover. Breeding operations may be disrupted for months. The financial impact will persist. This is why compensation and long-term support are essential. Our commitment, we will fight for transparency, accountability, compensation, and support. We will ensure your voices are heard. We will not allow this crisis to be ignored. To every farmer facing this crisis, you are not alone. Your investment matters. Your livelihood matters. Your voice matters. Together, we will demand the support we deserve. Together, we will build and recover in solidarity. The leadership of the consortium.
Yeah. Let me again, before you continue, apologize to the viewers, because I notice your camera has stuck, and I'm not going to be. The only way I can bring back your camera is if I shut down this and reboost it, and then we're going to lose all of our followers.
That's
and
okay.
have to start again. So, my apologies. Go ahead.
No problem. The voice is what we want y'all to hear.
Yeah.
So that was the open letter by the consortium in solidarity with our livestock farmers. So, as I said before, the thing in the air right now is the privatization of the feed. I saw that the Prime Minister pulled back on that. In his roundtable, he mentioned that they will no longer consider the privatization of the feed. And he has pledged $1 million into a special account, because one of the reasons why there was a shortage was because the government failed to pay the suppliers of the feed. So one just wondering, well, how we reached that level? Why would the government be failing to pay suppliers? Like, how is procurement so difficult for the government? And then the PM threw out the $1 million number in the account. My question is, how you arrive by this number? Because the problem I'm seeing here is that, for whatever reason, we don't like maths in St. Kitts, right? The CXC pass rate was, 39% or something like that? We don't like maths in St. Kitts. It's been in the 30s for a couple of years now. And it seems as though that extends to the government. Because you're pledging $1 million. But on what grounds? On what information? On what data? How many livestock farmers do we have of the different animal types? How many heads of cattle are in St. Kitts? How many heads of sheep, goat are in St. Kitts? Chicken, do we know the number? Because it's very simple. If you know the number of farmers, you know how much animals they're rearing, then you can calculate how much feed is required. It's mathematics. So to just pledge $1 million when the problem last time was that you owed $1 million. So that $1 million gonna clear up what you owed, and then you put in the next $1 million. So how long do you think that's gonna last? Right? So I did some I would call it back napkin maths, right? Some simple maths, simple maths for to just give you guys an idea as to what we can be dealing with. So I'm gonna look at the layer birds, right? Those are the hens, chickens that are reared to lay eggs, right? There's the broiler bird. Those are reared for meat. You have your pigs, you have your sheep, you have a goat. We're going to look at the layer because they recently commissioned a hatchery. So it seems as though they are kind of focused on the layer bird. So the average productive life of a layer hen is about 2 years, right? About 2 years. So you get it, you rate up to about 2 years. After that, the production start going down, right? So again, we average in here because a lot of things can determine the length and those things, like the breed, the feed, etc., etc. So you have to feed the birds starter ration from birth, from time it hatches to 6 weeks, starter ration. Grower ration comes into play from 6 weeks to about 15 weeks. And then from 15 weeks to when you decide to kill them, take them out the stock, you have to feed them layer rations. So it's a long 2 years you have to be feeding these animals the layer rations. And so if you look at the maths, starter, so I'm going to do for one bird. One bird requires about 2.5, 3 pounds of starter ration for their lifespan, right? For the first 6 weeks, and then you move on to the other one. So that's about 2 pounds for them to get to the 6 weeks. The grower ration, about 14, right? About 14 pounds to get you from the 6 to the 15, 16 weeks. And then the layer ration, based on my maths again, just the 2 weeks, 2 years average, is going to be about 183 pounds, right? You have to feed them. And so you realize these bags contain 50 pounds, right? 50 pounds. And I'm going with the privatized pricing, right? So let's say you have 100 birds you're rearing, 100 birds. So for starter ration, you need about 50 bags, right? Not 50 bags, about 5 bags, right? About 5 bags. If you have 100 birds, about 5 bags. At $67, so that's about $335 for the starter, for 100 starter ration. For 100 birds, grower ration, you need about 28 bags. At $57 each, so that's about $1,500. And then for 100 birds, like I said, you need about 183 pounds of ration, and so you divide that by 50 for the bags, you get about 366 bags of feed you need. So that's about at $67. Again, I'm going with the privatized price, $67. So after the 2 years, you're spending about $24,500 on layer ration for the productive life of the bird. So you add them up, you have about $26,000. That is only for feed. Understand, there's labor involved, water, lights, all those things are involved. And so eggs, the average bird lays about 1 egg a day. The going rate right now for eggs, the farm gate price for eggs is, based on what one of the farmers told me, is $10. So for a dozen. So if an average bird lays 600 eggs over their lifetime, and is selling a dozen for $10, right? You get 50 dozen from the bird. 50 dozen you get from the bird, and that equates to $500. So if you add that up, 100 birds, about $50,000 for 2 years. So again, you realize that feed is over almost 60% of revenue. Remember, I said not profit, revenue. Because you still have to minus all the other things involved. The crates, the this, the that, the gas, all those things. So you realize, I would imagine for a poultry farmer, layer, it is so thin. And you actually considered privatizing the feed? Like, what got you to that point to consider privatizing the feed? Because the numbers are not matching. And again, I asked the Prime Minister, where did you get that 1 million figure? What numbers did you use to arrive at that? Because if there's no base for it, it is pointless. We're going to end up in the same situation. And he said that there's going to be a special account. So I'll say, okay, kudos to that. Let's see how it works out. Because what did you realize is one of the biggest problems with the government and its inefficiencies is how the finances are handled. Because ministries have to forecast, send up to the finance. Finance can say yes, they can say no. This whole thing. That's why farmers were getting paid late. That's why fishermen were owed so much money. That's why you're owed feed money. So I can't even let it blame squarely at agriculture's feet. It's the government system. So whatever system they have in place needs to be revamped, needs to change. Because if it's that the system is in place to prevent, fiscal irresponsibility, what are you talking about? The country in debt. What that same system allowed for 5.5 million to be allocated to Tabasco project. That same system allows for ministers and permanent secretaries and what to travel up and down the place, and paying them. That same system has allowed for so much problems where people just shaving off this, shaving off that. So the system, the only person negatively impacted by the system is the common man who's trying the best to get something done. And let me just say, for those who are listening, do not come and say farmers, they can't not on their own, they rely on the government. The USDA is a government entity, and they support the American farmers to the tunes of millions and billions of dollars. Guyana, who has been recently showed as one of the only countries that can feed themselves, that president is pumping money into agriculture. They understand the importance, and the government has a role to play. So nobody out there who trying to play politics saying, well, farmers always want something. No. Because you realize that subsidies are part of the government system. And so if we are we are venturing into it, we're looking into doing it on our own, farmers. But the thing is now, numbers again, the average cost of a 40 feet container from, I think, St. Vincent is about $9,000. And that container, I was told, contains 1,300 bags of feed. How many farmers we have? That feed, I just gave you the example with the layer. If you do the maths, because you have to divide that amount into layers, broilers, for pigs, for whatever. So it's not even going to be for one sector alone. So you see the mountain we have to climb if we have to venture on our own. But we're willing, if anybody's able to work, we're willing to go and see how we can get this done. Because clearly, the government is not a reliable partner. Because when you mess up feed, it trickles through the the supply chain. That means the cost of eggs might go up. One of the reasons they said Trump won the presidency was because of eggs. Because he had a bird flu outbreak, the cost of eggs went up, And so people complaining about eggs, and you see a whole election was around the cost of eggs. So understand that when production costs go up in any way, including feed, it has to be trickled down to the customer. And they have to pay the extra because already the margins are small for layer farmers. It's already small. So imagine your production cost goes up, right? That means now it's even smaller. You have no choice but to pass it on to the consumer. And then you wait till this time, Christmas time, and people in the baking, right? Real baking happen because normally around Christmas, demand for eggs skyrockets, just goes right up. That's just part of it. So you should have been prepared for this. You should have already planned for this as a government.
We have a caller. Hello, caller.
Yes. Good morning, Brother Quinn. Good morning, farmer. I give you the name double time.
Good morning.
And all the rest farmers. Even if a person come out and say he's a farmer, we support is 10 times exponentially for them. And what government and people got to understand, without food, and food involves the farmers, whether you're doing it on a subsistence base or on a wide scale, we have to protect that. And from my perspective, and I get the chance to be in that leadership mode, everything that is needed for farmers, I can give farmers a break from tax, land, and anything surround that, because the farmers are who is feeding us. Why we must put hardship in any shape or form on farmers and the food, and they are doing it local. That keep the money in the country than to spending, exporting. Let us concentrate and focus on our local farmers. Our farmers are more organic than importing. So why government can't find that leverage? A farmer is just like a teacher teaching, and you have to find a salary for the teachers. But what is the difference? The farmers work to get their pay. They are self-sustained, self-resilient. Why can't government give them the break than to privatize? Or give the farmers anything that is...
Caller, remember, be concise, because this is a paid program. So...
Yes. I will just end there. All I'm saying, I am with the farmers 110 times exponentially, and food is security, and a hungry man become an angry man. And when you become an angry man because you are starving, that is another world you're going into. Thank you for that time. Farmer, I support you 110 times exponentially.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me just add to what he said. Teachers work for their money too, not just farmers alone. Teachers do work. We work for our money, trust me. Right?
He didn't realize that you're also a teacher, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's it. So again, that's the floating issue out there right now. And like I said, the consortium is about solutions. And that is why one of the main things we've been fighting for is a voice. And that is why we are reaching out and saying we want to come together to develop a proper plan. Let us understand why there's an issue, why there are bottlenecks, so we can help to develop a proper plan. Let farmers tell you their needs, what they require, etc., etc. Because if the system is failing us in the sense that there's no way you can go and tell, the ministry can tell me how many livestock farmers are in St. Kitts. They can't.
You have a caller. Hello, caller.
Yes. Good morning. I think he just hit the nail on the head there. You know, the saying, we're gone by the morning, can't come good evening.
Yeah.
From the outset, from very early o'clock, the relations between the farmers and the ministry, the government, seemed strained for whatever reason, okay? And so the kind of intelligence that they needed to make sure things like these don't happen just wasn't coming.
No.
Okay, if you're not going to listen to stakeholders, obviously you're going to, unless you feel that you know everything, you're going to miss out.
And I'm glad you made that point, you know, because as the young man was speaking, I was thinking to myself, they don't seem to understand that a good leader is determined by how good you listen, so you understand the ripples of the society and the community. Go ahead.
Of course, yes. You know, you got to be really conceited if you go in there feeling that you know everything. Okay? And yes, you have to listen to the people who do know, right? Who are actually out in the field experiencing real problems and have real needs and know exactly what it takes to make their business successful, right? But to me, this boils down to pure incompetence on the part of the government. Yeah. Honestly, it can't be called anything else. This should not have happened.
Right? I try to walk a sort of a cautious line, even though I'm outspoken. But on numerous occasions, I've said that the leader, the prime minister, needed to use his power to do some shifting. Perhaps the individual who is over agriculture has too many portfolios. I don't know exactly how governments run, but you as a leader have to find a way. If you find after X amount of time this isn't happening, shift that person, put someone else in there and see how it works. Don't keep working with them and you see it's going down. As you said, if we go bad a morning, it not come right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Our system is such. I don't know if it's the system so much as the style of the politicians we have, that they're not nimble enough to make adjustments when necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, they stick with the same old system, the same old thing, the same old advisors, and and so nothing changes. They're not just not nimble enough.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to. Yeah. Because go ahead.
And so that will allow me to segue into the other section of my presentation. The fact that we don't have a voice as farmers with the ministry and the government, and the poor communication between the ministry and the farming community. I emphasized that it was the prime minister who came out and acknowledged the issues with the feeds. He acknowledged the plan to privatize and the pullback. He acknowledged that we owed people money. But there's a minister of agriculture. There is a minister of agriculture. And we have not heard anything from the minister of agriculture up to this point. We were told that some leadership changes were made in the ministry. All know so. We don't know about it. So we're writing correspondence to whom? Because there was no official word. There was nothing that said, okay, this permanent secretary is out, this one is in. There was nothing. So as I said, even talking about the change in leadership, because from the onset, we had one meeting with the past PS. I don't even know to say because nobody made anything official. With the past PS. And from that meeting with the PS and the minister, we said, this can't work. This cannot work. Because the attitudes that both of you guys have cannot work. This attitude of top down, as if you know more than the farmers, this cannot work. You don't listen to the farmers. And that was the main point of contention. That is why the relationship went south. Because here are persons who are in this system for years, upon years. And here these two young men, combined, the experts in agriculture, can't even trump some of them, the older farmers. Cannot. And you're not listening to anything they're saying. They don't have a seat at the table. And then what happened now? 3 years in, you chose to change PS. So are you saying that you were wrong all along? Were you not warned about it all along? Is it that the plight of the farmers wasn't of importance to you? Because all of you were complaining, you did nothing. The PM did nothing. He said he's not going to put you on anything. He did nothing. And so now all of a sudden you change in leadership. Why? Is it that there was some personal thing that, what is the reason? No, what is the rationale? Because clearly for 3 years farmers are complaining, you did nothing, you changed nothing. You stayed the course. Things going bad to worse, you stayed the course as a minister. As the caller said, refuse to change. Sometimes it is not an issue of politics, it's an issue of personnel.
Yeah.
Sometimes the personnel just don't match, and nothing wrong with that. You could just admit, okay, we gave you a year, things not looking how we're supposed to look, let's move on to somebody else. It just didn't line up. And even so, the new PS, we haven't met with him as yet, but the new PS, his background is in biology and fisheries. And so now we're wondering if the agriculture side of things are going to be given what it needs to be given. Yeah. And we have to really question right, as young people, right, I'll just put this out there as a PSA for young people. Do not allow anybody to set you up to fail. If you know you're not ready for a role, a post, do not allow anybody to set you up to fail. Know yourself. Be self-aware. Because the PSO who was left, he started working in agriculture in 2018. He never had much senior roles, so he wasn't aware of how to govern an entire ministry. And yet he was thrust into it. Instead of leaning on the expertise of the farmers and whatnot, him and the young minister who is green as well, chose to go their own way. No success for year 1, no success year 2, year 3, nothing, and they still maintain course. And as you say, as a prime minister, you have to look and say, no, some shuffling need to be done.
Yeah.
You can't keep throwing money as a bad investment. Some shuffling needs to be done. And hopefully, if the minister is not doing, PM, you should have had a meeting with the farmers. Even before you roll out whatever you're rolling out. Even before you mention the $1 million and whatnot, have a meeting with the farmers. See what the best angle to take. Because as I said again, we could have straight up tell you, $1 million ain't nothing.
Yeah.
When it comes to feed, it's going to be eaten up literally in a matter of months or weeks.
We have a caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning real quickly. Let me get straight at the agriculture guy. Is there a new PS or there isn't a new PS? Or there is a new PS and it wasn't announced yet? Because I just heard you said there's a new PS and you haven't met with him yet. Can you clarify that for the public? At the round table yesterday, I stand corrected, but if I heard correctly, the Prime Minister said he's dumping some money into the payment for the feed, and he is saying that they're not going to privatize the agriculture sector. And I guess I'll leave that there.
Okay.
Thanks.
Before you start, there's another caller. Hello, caller. Okay, we lost that, so you can.
Okay, as I said before, I'm only going by what's out there in the public because you have seen, for example, when they had the World Fisheries Day, you see a new person and the title was Acting Permanent Secretary. So the question is, okay, he's acting. Where is the current permanent? Well, who is the permanent secretary? Nobody knows, and that's the whole point. Neither the the PM or the minister have come out and say what is happening with the leadership at the Ministry of Agriculture. Your stakeholders need to know. Because if I'm writing a correspondence, as I said, I need to know who to address it to and why. Well, not necessarily why. Because whatever happened, what shuffling happened, that's y'all concern. But at least give us the respect to inform us that going forward, this person is now at this position. That is not too hard.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about politicians, especially here in St. Kitts. This whole self-serving bias thing, where when something succeeds, it's all me. Something failed, it's someone else. So the previous PS didn't work out. That's understandable. When health changed theirs, they made the announcement. When the Ministry of Justice changed theirs, they made the announcement. So agriculture as it was. That you can't tell the stakeholders that there'll be a change in leadership at the ministry.
Yeah. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Brother Quint, I spoke just a few
Again,
minutes
be
ago.
very brief.
I'm going to be brief. All I want to say, if a person, a minister, to whom it might concern, have a portfolio and they're not performing, you got to change them. Because, first of all, you want your administration to look good and you don't want it to look bad. So, in order to look good, and you hear the cry of no performance, no confidence, shift it up. It doesn't have to be a minister. It could be some citizen walking among us can perform that deal. So we can't play it by only in my cabinet, only in my party. We have to be diversive. Okay? And that is what? This is too much party line on one thing. Change the minister or the assigned person until you find the best. Because we're going to vote them out until we get what we need.
Okay,
I will leave it there.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Joe, change up the performance and the portfolio because they are making you look bad. Very bad.
Yeah, okay. Before you continue, I'm going to say this. I know we missed you for a while, and now that you're here, I know you're busy, you have a lot of things to do, but try not to stay so long away because when you come, it's a big difference. You bring a Not that everybody else isn't, but you bring a difference in terms of how you explain yourself, how you give a breakdown of things and everything. So now and again, make it an effort to come so that we can hear, so that because when you come, we get a broad picture of what is happening. Go ahead.
I'll try. All right, so it's almost 10, so I'm wrapping up now. All right, so just in wrapping up, what I want to say is this to the Prime Minister, to the Minister, to whomever. The consortium still looking for that one main thing, a voice, a seat at the table, so we can work together to enact positive change in the sector. The budget is coming up. Hopefully, there's maybe a agriculture board or something to establish in the next year. That'll be good. That's a good start, so that we can actually sit down, because this whole feed thing shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. And put the right people in the right place. I am hoping that the Ministry of Agriculture wrote in and asked for maybe a procurement officer, maybe they asked for a procurement unit, so that inputs can be more fleshed out and we get them in a quicker manner, maybe just in time, because the storage might be a problem for feed. You want to weave and that kind of stuff. So have it on such a tight leash that is just when you need it, you get it right there. Right? There's a system you can put in place. So hopefully that can be ironed out in the upcoming year. But please, we just want to be partners to work together for the betterment of the agricultural sector.
Okay, and thanks for coming. And again, when you can, come, because you bring a refreshing, detailed presentation.
Right. So this might be our last show for the year, though.
Yeah,
right? This might be our
no
last show for the
problem.
year.
Next
Right.
year. Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
And as you said, that enjoy the season.
All right, you too. Same thing.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Grab today. Shop away. Take 2 days to shop your way. New savings for today. We're always so nice. We're treating you. We're treating you so right. It's Saturday.
Celebrate Saturday with 2 days of super savings at the TDC Home and Building Depots and Automotive Divisions in St. Kitts and Nevis. Shop your way on Friday 28th and Saturday 29th November and get 25% off in store and online at shoptdcgroup.com. Get everything you need before the holiday rush begins. This weekend, celebrate Saturday. Head to your favorite TDC retail store, the place for holiday savings. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. TDC. Together, we succeed.
And that's how we're going to bring an end to Island Tea for today. And, well, Hortensia wasn't here today, but she will be with us again tomorrow. So those of you who miss her when she's not here, including myself, well, we'll be refreshed and enjoying her company tomorrow. That's how I'm going to end things for Island Tea for today. And I'm going to be making a few changes, and I'll be right back and with you on Voices. And on Voices, I'm going to go into what I started this morning, where we go into a discussion about the SSZ, okay?
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20